When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you are in the championship rounds with the one and only King Amin of Essex, and I'm here, my brethren, solid boxer connoisseur, the one and only Pope of Pugilism, Mr. George Hanson. Tell them where they can find you, all your socials.
Uh, Thank you for having me, King Amin. As them saying at Jamaica, you don't know. They can find me on Instagram, the Pope of Pugilism, and on YouTube, Boxing 396. That's where Chris Tony and myself, we do all these wonderful interviews of champions, promoters, you name it. We've interviewed them, Eddie Hearns, Evander Holyfield, the best welterweight on the planet, Jerome Boots Ennis, and our current champion, Cool Boy Steph. Have a bunch of interviews with him, and also Julian J. Rock Williams.
David Price, you know what I'm saying? You got Atipo Burlton.
Atipo Burlton, Coach Sharon. Who else? Ben Dowdy, the barrister of boxing from England.
The Feldmans.
Man Spencer Theron, Master Knowledge. You name it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The Pope of Pugilism. And ladies and gentlemen, if you need to understand, it's like Vlad TV. Everybody know who Vlad is, but it's like Vlad, you know, he's got these videos where, oh, you want to know about somebody before they quote unquote came out. Chances are on Boxing 396 and interview with these people before Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Interviews with these people.
Oh man, Devin Haney was a great interview. Isaac Dogbay, my Jamaican brother, Glenn Johnson.
See.
Chris Bird.
Tons of content
goes on, man. And love interviewing the young up-and-coming fighters. I interviewed Jerome Boots Ennis. I believe he was 17 years old.
You know, I want to talk to you too. You had I guess it was an invitational. It was an event that was held, what was it, a couple weeks ago or last month, was it? I want you to talk a little bit about that.
There was supposed to be a boxing show in my honor at Pivot Boxing Academy, but they had some, I think they had a small fire, so it's been postponed until next month.
Okay, good. And when
shout out to Pivot Boxing Academy, Lando Rosa, Coach Sharon, Lord Pretty Calvo, for even honoring me and putting my name on a boxing show.
No, absolutely. We want to make sure that we're abreast of whenever that event is happening. Speaking of happening events, we're going to roll right into a fight week recap. This one was a lot of people talking early fight of the year candidate in January. I don't know, is it just we're so excited, but they're talking Yarde and Beterbiev, fight of the year candidate. We know Beterbiev won by a 9th round stoppage, 8th round stoppage. A lot of people had Yarde up on the scorecards in this particular fight. A lot of people now questioning things about Beterbiev. They're praising Yarde. What was your take from this one?
My take, and I can see how people have Yarde up by a yard or 3 rounds. It was a very good fight. He fought a very good fight, but I didn't like him staying on the ropes. I think he abandoned the jab to the body too early. And we know Beterbiev is a cyborg, man. The man is built like a brick house. You have to wear him down. He's going to be there for 12 rounds. So people might see some chinks in his armor. He's still a human being. And plus, he's older now. He's getting older. But, every time something happens, people go, oh, this guy is exposed. He had enough to win by knockout. You get my point? So yeah. It was a very good showing for Anthony Yarde. Shout out to him. True gladiator. And we didn't expect anything less from him. But we have to give it to the champ for hanging in there despite getting hurt. I saw one time he was hurt, but he, as all great champions do, stayed there, got himself together, and went back to work. Great fight, and I can see how it's up for fight of the year. But we still have a long way to go, man.
Long calendar.
Long way to go. But shout out to Anthony Yarde. Let me ask you a question. Is Yarde Jamaican?
Yes, he is.
That's what I'm saying. Gotta be Jamaican.
All that Harden boy show, he got to be.
With a name like Yarde, you know what I'm saying? Man, have to be Jamaica with a name like Yarde.
Quite natural.
Shout out to Anthony Yarde. You make Jamaica proud.
Absolutely. And so while in my mind, I think a fight with Zerto is right up his alley, you know. Zerto's got a nice little name, although he lost to Bivol at 175. I think they both come back in a nice little bounce back. And then they're talking Caleb Smith could be kind of the monkey wrench in the plans for Bivol and Beterbiev, that matchup. What do you think of Caleb Smith's chances against Beterbiev, either in light of what you saw or just in general?
Callum Smith is an excellent boxer. He can box. It's a very intriguing fight. You know, but with Beterbiev, you're going to need a football helmet, a baseball bat, and some brass knuckles to really back this dude up. If I'm going to a bad neighborhood in any country, right? You ask me, are you going to give me a machine gun or Beterbiev? Listen, man, I'm taking Beterbiev with me. I'm being serious. If I'm going somewhere rough, I'm taking Beterbiev.
Boy, tougher mutton.
I'm taking Beterbiev. So Callum Smith, it's going to be an intriguing fight. Can he box for 12 rounds? We don't know. And that's why it's a very good fight. He lost to Canelo Alvarez, but that's a different fight, different animal. He learned from that fight. So can he box? Yes. Does he have the skills to outbox Beterbiev? Some would say yes. But can you do it for 12 rounds? This is a cyborg coming at you. This is a tank coming at you. And all you have boxing gloves at your disposal. But maybe they could petition the commission to allow Smith to come in with a metal baseball bat.
Yeah, they have to turn it into some sort of MMA, man. But we definitely have, you know, that's an exciting, you know, division right now, 175. I think we got our money's worth, so to speak. And I think as it plays out, whether it's Smith and Bivol and Beterbiev, however, I think that'll be good. On the weekend as well, we had Alexis Rocha. He's a Golden Boy signee. His opponent was a late replacement opponent, supposed to fight Anthony Young. He knocked the guy out 7th round, and he started calling out Terrence Crawford. And then Oscar De La Hoya starts saying, we got the perfect package for Terrence Crawford. He's saying Alexis Rocha and then the Virgil Ortiz fight. This is all speculation, all talk. And I titled this one Chess Not Checkers, right? Now, just going back to the first one, I think that was a high-skilled chess match. Anthony Yarde jumped a bit. He played checkers, and that was it. He got checked.
Right.
Now, Oscar De La Hoya, is he making chess moves, or is this just regular old Oscar jumping around playing checkers again?
My friend, I like Oscar as a fighter. I question him as a promoter. But, you know, the fact that why are we even talking about this? You get my point? Why are we even talking about it? I don't want to give too much publicity to it, but there's no need to talk. The fight we want to see, let's talk about it. Crawford and Spence, or Duran Boots Ennis and anyone with the temerity to step in the ring with him. You get my point? I don't want to hear about Rocha, Oscar De La Hoya. I want to hear Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. That's the fight we want to see. Or if they're not going to fight, I want to see Duran Boots Ennis with either one of them or somebody for the IBF belt. I don't want to hear anything else.
Well, that's interesting, right? So maybe there was some chess moves being made behind the scenes. There's been a lot of speculation that somehow Espinoza couldn't get a date, but there was talks for Bud Crawford and Boots Ennis. Now, in light of
a date.
You said you think you get a date?
We can get a date. I mean, I have a calendar. We can pick a date. We can pick a date. What's so hard?
I guess a date for a venue.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Hearns, Leonard fought Hearns. Leonard was 25 years old, WBC champ. Hearns was 23, WBA champ. That fight was made. They fought. So when people talk about can they get a date, come on, man. There's a big calendar. I can pick a date. I can make this fight.
So we just gonna can we just chalk it up to the bad business? Because I want to go back a bit. I talked about it last week, but I know you're an expert in this area as far as understanding as well as practice. You heard Teofimo Lopez Sr. say he's turning down or he doesn't agree to a 35%. Is it so much business involved? And I'm not telling nobody not to make money, but is it so much of the business involved at boxing that these fights are never going to get made?
I think, put it this way, and I have to say this. If Don King was still prominent today, all of these fights would be made. You get my point?
Wow, Don King.
If Don, only an American King, was at the helm, these fights would be made. Don't ask me why these fights aren't being made. Everyone's trying to be a businessman. Everyone is trying to keep an undefeated record. And there's so much money out there, but time waits on no one.
Yeah.
So whether they make the fights or not, right? I would like to see these fights, but do I really care? Not really. I saw Tommy Hearns fight Ray Leonard. I saw Leonard fight Marvin Hagler, right? I saw Hearns fight Hagler. Doesn't get any better than that.
No. Well, I'll tell you one tier of boxing that doesn't miss on the best fighting the best, right? So let's get to it. This weekend, we got a stacked card. We got Amanda Serrano. She's going straight for undisputed, right? In her division, featherweight. On that undercard, you got Alicia Baumgartner. Very familiar with her. Salute. Undisputed as well. So we talk about fights not being made on the men's side. We got to like to complain about on the women's side of things. We have a lot less to complain about. All right. I think even Sky Nicholson is up for a WBC silver title or something in that regard. What do you think of those fights happening? Especially we got them this weekend coming up.
Can I tell you this? I've been to many boxing matches over the years, right? Can't tell you how many, probably thousands. And on every card that had a women fighting each other, a female bout, I've never seen a boring fight. You get my point?
Absolutely.
All the matches were great. Now, we're talking about Alicia Baumgartner. I've seen her fight twice at 2300 Arena. She's promoted by the King of Kings promotion, my man, Marshall Kaufman. I'm a huge fan from the first day I saw her fight. Alicia Baumgartner. Put it this way, how can I put it? She looks like a Vogue model, right? And she fights like Tommy Hearns and Ray Leonard. I mean, she's a killer.
Yeah. And
I believe she's going to stay on top for a very long time. She can box. She has power in both hands, great boxing skills, great stamina. She's a total package.
Great counterpuncher.
And extremely marketable.
Yeah.
Why are we not seeing Miss Baumgartner in commercials? She's marketable.
You know, it's funny you say that. The first and the only time I've ever seen her in a commercial happened to be a commercial in the UK for it was like a footwear brand. I think they do some sort of athleisure wear. You know what I'm saying? But remember those fights when she went to the pinnacle, it was in the UK against Terry Harper. Then she went back on that Shields Marshall. So, you know, now she just like sometimes you know of this. Sometimes many people from the diaspora have had to go overseas to get the recognition, establish themselves, and then come back stateside to get on fire. And I think this is another one of those cases.
I don't think it's really part of that case. Let me say this. I think a lot of people in the boxing world really don't take a look at fighters and getting a marketing company behind them to promote them and present them to companies. Ray Leonard did it. The blueprint has been, the blueprint was laid out with Sugar Ray Leonard. Alicia Baumgartner, she's extremely marketable, very attractive, great fighter, very eloquent. She's a total package. Baumgartner would make more money outside the ring than she's making inside the ring because she's extremely marketable.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that, and the reason why I say that is because perhaps the opportunities stateside have been more for the out of the ring marketability than inside of the ring because there's not enough draws, there's not enough headline fights or women's fighters. So I'm thinking she's able to get that opportunity because in the UK, women's boxing is treated more seriously. They're featured on a lot more cards. And I think if she establishes the boxing first and then comes stateside, I think over here there might have been more of a just kind of a rush to make her present herself with the assets first. I just think that over there they treat boxing, especially for women, they treat it, they give it the same, they give it more visibility, or if not equal as the men. Where over here, if it's on an undercard, it's kind of smothered in between.
And that's a safe place to land, right? But I know personally there are firms out there that are very much interested in Alicia Baumgartner that can make her extremely marketable in the United States or worldwide, that everybody would know her. So, that's a safe spot. How many marketing firms has her management team approached to get her endorsements, et cetera? Let's ask that question. Let's not make it de facto. It's the UK. The UK have, people, when it comes to boxing and how can we put it, endorsements, the UK, they're way ahead. But Alicia Baumgartner is very marketable. So the reality is she needs to get with the marketing firm and
change the game.
It's not really changed the game. Ray Leonard laid the blueprint down. The game didn't change it, that people haven't followed what Ray Leonard did.
From that long ago. And that's the
Think
marketing
about this.
part.
I was on YouTube and I was looking at a channel today, and the richest boxers, right? Don't know how true it is, but it seems pretty accurate. And at number one, they had Floyd Money Mayweather, right? Guess who was at number two?
I'm guessing Ray Leonard.
Nope. Ray was at number, I think, 8.
Okay.
Guess who was at number 2?
I'm thinking Ali or Tyson.
George Foreman.
Because of the grill.
1 endorsement. Need I say more? Can I drop the mic now and move on?
Fair enough.
1 endorsement.
Well, I think one fighter that might or may follow your model is one Blair Cobb. So we can't leave this one out. We'll get back to the weekend's fights, because there was and I think, as far as the whole chess and checkers thing, again, you probably understand this more from a perspective than me. I say you fight the guy, but what I'm talking about is Virgil Ortiz had his team issue a cease and desist order against Blair Cobb. He made some accusations about PEDs, and maybe I'm too naive, maybe I'm too primitive, but in my mind, I said, well, why don't you fight the guy? But I guess, you set up the fight, whatever, if you go through VADA testing, yada, 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 but immediately cease and desist was issued. Blair Cobb had to do a retraction. Am I thinking too small-minded, or was that the way you handle that kind of stuff? Chess, not checkers, or what?
Put it this way, I understand the legality in filing all those things, and I do understand that, but somehow I'm from the old school. If I want to fight someone, I'm going to let them talk, and we're going to fight. I like Blair Cobb. That's a guy who, as a young man, he's got the Muhammad Ali kit, and he knows how to sell tickets. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
Love Blair Cobb. So would it be a great fight between Blair Cobb and Virgil Ortiz? Yes. Would I pay to see that fight? Absolutely. Am I angry with Blair Cobb for what he's doing? No, I'm not. It's show business. This is marketing.
Absolutely. That's why I mentioned that. We're talking about marketing. I think Blair Cobb has done even a better job of marketing himself than Virgil Ortiz, and without the big promotion company, and look who we're talking about, more Blair Cobb than Virgil Ortiz, so Blair Cobb is doing just fine. And should he find himself connected to a big marketing firm, I think he's going to be one that can, I guess, grab hold of that Ray Leonard blueprint with the endorsement aspect of it, get a product or products behind him, right?
Let me put it this way. If Blair Cobb had the skills of Jerron Boots Ennis, we wouldn't be able to turn on our TV without seeing him.
Shout out to Blair Cobb, my guy.
The man is entertaining.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Listen, Blair Cobb could put his face on a bottle of Jamaican jerk season, and I would buy it.
Listen.
The Blair Cobb jerk season, I would buy it.
Blair Cobb I think he's in for a big 2023. I hope he gets that fight. If not, I'm hoping some of those guys in the welterweight division, step up and give him a chance. If they think he's a big mouth, shut him up,
I agree with you, but the man is entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blair Cobb is fighting tomorrow. I'm tuning in. Blair Cobb is on pay-per-view. I'm buying it.
Well, speaking of tuning in, we got to have Emmanuel Navarrete, 126 pounds. No, he's just moving up to featherweight, 126 pounds. And I've kind of had my suspicions about him. I know he's an exciting fighter, but he was actually supposed to fight Oscar Valdez. Something happened. I don't know if Oscar wasn't able to have his tea. I know how he likes his tea. And now he's in it with Navarrete. So what do you expect from Navarrete? I'm expecting him actually to get hit a lot more at featherweight, and I'm expecting his fights to be a lot more exciting in that he's going to come more closer to, having to show some sort of discipline. He can't just be this wild swinging puncher. I don't know if the power is going to carry. What do you think is going to happen with Navarrete this weekend and beyond?
I think the power is going to carry. When I first saw this guy, when he fought Isaac Dogbe, I sat there and said, how did he ever make 122? He's 5'7", but he's big. And he's like a machine. He comes straight at you. He bowls you over. Extremely strong. So him moving up to featherweight, then moving up to junior lightweight, he's probably at his natural weight right now. He's a big guy, but in Wilson, he's fighting a guy, I believe, who they list him 2 inches taller than Navarrete.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the size advantage, but man, can he punch? He's a machine.
Yeah, we're gonna see Navarrete. I don't got nothing against him, but I do think that he's such a risky fighter, so exciting, but he's so risky. You know what I'm saying? And he sacrifices so much defense. He's coming forward, and again, it's boxing. You're gonna get hit, but he took some punches from Dogbe. If he was in there, like I say, he's up at junior lightweight now. He's up in there against bigger guys.
Yes.
I don't know if those punches gonna wear the same, but I do want to see this fight. He's an exciting fighter, and let's see what he does.
It's going to be a good fight. Whoever lands first.
And on that card, you got Jose Pedraza and Arnold Barboza.
Oh yeah.
Now, Pedraza's on a bit of a resurgence, if you will, and Barbosa's done nothing wrong except lose to Jose Ramirez, or did he beat Jose Ramirez the last time out?
He did beat Ramirez. I think Barbosa, isn't he not undefeated? 27-0, 10 KOs.
And see, that's my Barbosa. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Go ahead.
His biggest win is over Mike Alvarado back in 2019, but Alvarado was 38, almost a month away from being 39 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Barbosa. Does Pedraza have a lot left in his tank? I think so. And Barbosa is not a big puncher, and I don't see how it's going to keep Pedraza off him.
Yeah, I see Pedraza edging him out,
Yeah.
I like his resurgence. Let's get back to that women's boxing. Since we're talking about Pedraza, Puerto Rico, let's keep it on another Puerto Riqueño, Amanda Serrano. Now, I don't know a lot about Erica Cruz, but I got to do my homework before the fight comes. But Serrano, listen, Amanda Serrano's just Amanda Serrano as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, she also beat Katie Taylor. Her last time out, she was in there against Sarah Mahfoud, who's a pretty good fighter herself. I'm expecting Serrano to do her thing and just not to look past, but I'm expecting her to get these belts and just be ready for the Taylor fight. I'm expecting her to impress. This will be her second fight. Well, no, this is when it is in New York, but I think that's her second fight with Matchroom, if you will. Like, you know, a lot of good stuff going on for her. I think she's playing high level chess. And let me go back to that right quick. The queens are moving all across the board. This is
Yeah.
what I like. This is what I like about it. What do you think happens with Serrano?
I'm a huge Amanda Serrano fan. I was somewhat disappointed with the Katie Taylor fight, not by how she fought, because I thought she won. I had her winning. At a point, I thought she could turn it up and stop Katie Taylor. I had her winning that fight. What disappointed me was that she wasn't upset after they announced the decision. You get my point?
Yeah, yeah.
To me, you won the fight, but you're not upset. You're concerned, and I saw a post shortly thereafter. Her main concern was about spending the money, her highest payday. And I'm from the old school. I've never worked for money a day in my life, not even in boxing, not even what I do. I do what I love doing, and somehow I get paid for doing what I love doing. And I thought she was so passionate about the championship, right? And winning all these championships, the money's going to come. She beat Katie Taylor, but it appeared that she wasn't even upset.
Yeah.
I was shocked by that.
And I don't know if it was a sense of I can't believe, you know, that's how it turned out, or just kind of like, hey, because I mean, people that were there, God bless, I was there for that fight. And even people that were there, people that flew all the way from Ireland were like, yeah, Serrano did so well. And when they heard the decision, they're like, hey, we'll take it. You know, there wasn't that same sense of confidence. So I don't know if it was her feeling that, knowing what the fans felt, and just saying, you know what? Plus, you know, maybe she's thinking chess and not checker. She knows that there's a rematch, there's bigger money. And again, I'm not, albeit money, you know, maybe is her motivation, man. I don't know.
Once again, I would have handled it differently. I would have been dignified, but I'm not going to be posting, I'm happy about the money. I'm more concerned about the championship.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, but let's face it, Amanda Serrano, she's an impeccable boxer. She has all the skills in the world, and she's a very good puncher. So I don't see this fight with Cruz. Cruz has 3 knockouts. I don't know if she could break an egg with a hammer if you gave her one. So
yeah,
anybody facing Amanda Serrano, hey, Serrano.
Now,
she has all the skills and all the power. Great boxer.
Now, we talked about Alicia Bumgarner. She's in there against Elhim Miklad.
Yeah.
Miklad is no slouch, but I'm pulling for Bumgarner. You know, I don't see any reason why Bumgarner does not win in this bout, even though I know Miklad's going to come to box. What do you think of this fight?
You know, let me morph into my Allen Iverson practice rant. Here we are talking about a world championship fight. And you talking about Miklev? We're talking about Baumgartner. We're talking about Baumgartner. You get my point? Not a fight. We're talking about Baumgartner.
Now, mind you, the woman that she's supposed to be fighting went MIA. You know what I'm saying? Who I can't even pronounce her name, but she might as well be Who the Owl, the Korean young lady who got some sort of medical exemption so she can hide her WBA title. So, in all honesty, you know, sometimes I don't know if Bumgarner was expecting this to happen, but I feel like she was preparing for anybody they put in the ring. So this will just be, you know, a wonderful opportunity. We got so many undisputed in women's boxing.
If you put a silverback gorilla in there with a pair of 12-ounce or 10-ounce boxing glove against Baumgartner, I'm picking Baumgartner.
A lot of people would.
That's how confident I am.
Now, this is another fighter. I'm big on her. Jersey girl. She is tough. I call her the 50 Cent of boxing because the way she puts everybody on notice. I'm talking about Paterson, New Jersey's own Shadeja Green. All right,
I've heard the name. I have not seen her fight.
brother, you gotta see her. That's all I'm saying. And mind you, she is in there with Eileen Sederus, who former champion, French, Franchon Cruz de Zern, captured those titles on the undercard of the Serrano Taylor bout. So you have, I think she's 10-0, 11-0, Green against a former champion. I love this bout. And then the winner becomes the mandatory for Cruz de Zern. So I need you to do your homework. I need you to go find out who Shadeja Green is. You will not be disappointed, brother.
And my apologies. I'm going to do my research. I'll be on YouTube tonight because I just think the women are willing to fight each other. And I have a problem when people say women's boxing. It's boxing.
Sure.
You get my point?
Absolutely.
People say women's boxing. I just think it's disrespectful. It is boxing. I look at Amanda Serrano. Who works harder than her in the gym? How many fighters are as skilled as Amanda Serrano?
Yeah.
How many young fighters are as skilled as Alicia Baumgartner?
Not many.
Exactly.
So it's just boxing.
It is just boxing. And I believe in equity. You get my point? I believe the women should get paid just as much as the men.
Definitely. And I hope we get to that point sooner than later. Events like these, they got to showcase it, the eyes and the attention that this, level of boxing is getting. So I'm hoping we have a real big weekend. We also have Sky Nicholson on this card. Yeah. You have Ramla Ali on this card. And I think it's top to bottom. I think it's another one of those all women cards. And this one is, stateside. The last one was in the UK. And I'm just loving the feel of this. And this weekend, I know you're going to do your homework. We're going to touch base. I want you to let me know what you think of Shadeja Green. As a fighter, I don't have much to compare her to at this point because there's not a lot of footage out of her. As a matter of fact, most people that know about it, they kind of know about the gyms, and then she's got down with Jake Paul. So you've seen a little bit of footage of it. But, I mean, this is a great opportunity for her to hit the main stage, as the saying goes, man.
We really have some really excellent boxers who just happen to be women.
Absolutely. Yeah, this one was another good one in the books this weekend. It's early in the week, so everybody's got the opportunity. Do your homework on all these fighters, the men and the women, and I want you guys to get yourselves prepared all week long. Checking with me. I got the women's boxing. I just got to give it the title, but it is boxing in all fairness.
It is boxing.
I'll have that segment for you guys Wednesday. It may be one of these ladies. It may be someone else, but I'll keep the content coming. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you check out the Pope of Pugilism on Instagram. Check out Boxing 396 on YouTube. Lots of great interviews and great content. Anything else you want to give the people before we get out of here?
No, I just wanted your opinion since you did an interview with him about a week before. Atif Lord Pretty Calvo or Burlton? His last fight.
The last fight, man. I mean, he stepped up. He stepped up, and it was what I call, a lot of people, they use the word brilliant performance. Brilliant performance. Technical performance. I like that he entertains. Lord Pretty Calvo entertains every bout. The ring entrance, from the ring entrance to the punch selection, literally, he's an entertaining fighter. And we talked about this light heavyweight division, right? We started off the show talking about the light heavyweight division. He's in the light heavyweight division, and I don't see many guys that are going to be able to handle what he's bringing to the table, once he gets to where he needs to be. And I think that fight was one on the ShowBox card, was one that's, brought him into the proper light, and sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, I give it, Ben, and got to give it to him. He has a great trainer, Coach Sharon Baker.
No doubt about it.
She knows what she's doing. This is a lady who spent almost 50 years in a boxing gym learning under some great trainers. One of the best, put it this way. She will be in the Hall of Fame. And he's being managed the right way. Great promoter, great manager, everybody.
Absolutely. And that was great to get it, you know, a relatively local fight. You know, it was out in, you know, was it out in Bethlehem, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you know.
But it was an impressive performance for someone that young, that early in his career.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yep. So we're looking for some great things. And
Definitely
last question, man.
Mm-hmm.
When do you believe someone will have the temerity to get in the ring with the best fighter on the planet, Jaron Boots Ennis?
Honestly, when they're forced to, when they don't have a choice. I don't think anybody's going to do so willingly, you know. And again, as on our way out of here, I don't know if it's chess, not checkers. I don't know if they just want to just, you know what I'm saying? They want to avoid the beating, or, you know, they just saying it's not good business. Why would I fight a young fighter? You know, they're going to use that line, and that's just a line. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think nobody's going to do so willingly, my brother. But I don't want us to get cut off. Give me give me social media one more time, and we out of here, champ.
The Pope of Pugilism on Instagram, and pugilism is spelled Pugilism. Pugilism.
Absolutely.
The Pope of Pugilism and Boxing 396 on YouTube with all the interviews. But I appreciate you having me. It's great. But I just want to give a shout out to our Jamaican brother over there in England, Spencer Fearon. We'll call him the Donna Boxing. Hello, Spencer.